Welcome to the Journey to Forever podcast, where we discuss the highs and lows of life and love. Join us, your hosts, Flo and
Joe,
for a weekly recalculation of our roots as we navigate the twists and turns with candid conversation, comfort food, and laughter. Welcome back, Forever family, to another episode of the Journey to Forever podcast. And in this episode, Joe and I are going to have a soul connection. That's what I'm going to call it. We are planning to answer the 36 questions that lead to love. Some of you may have heard it. Those questions were published in the New York Times some time back. And we're just going to bond through answering those questions today. But as usual, before we dive into the deep end, we usually wade in the shallow during a segment called What's Your Story?
Hi folks. Nice seeing you and hearing you again. Well, I have a question for Flo. The question is, Flo, got a story to share about something awe-inspiring you saw in nature?
Yep, I do. And it is something that I experienced on at least 2 occasions. But I will talk about the first time that I went to see turtles laying their eggs. We are fortunate right here in Trinidad and Tobago to be one of the nations where turtles visit to lay eggs.
Specifically the leatherback turtles.
Yes. And if you are going to see this, because they tend to do it at night, you have to perhaps leave home. I remember leaving home with the group of friends that were going on this quote-unquote excursion around 7 p.m. We drove about 2.5 hours to get to Matura, which is a place on our northeast coast. I think that's northeast. Yeah. And of course, you need a permit because the leatherback turtle is protected here in Trinidad. So you need to be escorted by a guide. And eventually we made it to the beach and we were walking for a while. We honestly, it's not like we could call the turtles up and say, hey, we're coming through at 8 p.m. You need to be there. We just walked the beach, hoping that one of the turtles would be laying at that point in time. And eventually we found one. And because you go in groups, whenever there's a turtle laying, the guides have a way of signaling each other and everybody kind of gathered around. But you need to give the turtle space, obviously, for them to do their do.
Yes, to handle their business.
Yes, to handle their business. And y'all, it was so beautiful. I think I was early teens at this point in time. And to me, it was just awesome to see nature at work. This turtle in the dense darkness knew exactly how to crawl onto the shore. We saw her use her flippers to dig the hole, to lay the eggs, and then use the flippers again to cover the eggs back up. And meanwhile, the guide is explaining like different things about the turtle to us. The fact that the turtle more than likely would have been born on the shore. That's why she would return to that specific spot to lay her eggs. And I started asking like, well, how many of the hatchlings would survive and make it back into the water? Because it is a way. I mean, compared to the mother, when the turtles hatch, they're really tiny. So for them to crawl back in, and yes, stupidly, a lot of people locally don't really care for the animals, so they would hunt them, And at that point in time, I was just so happy to witness a miracle, because it really is a miracle to see those turtles up close and personal. And I hoped on the second occasion I went back, I was able to see hatchlings crawl back into the sea. So yeah, it really inspired me. It was something that I never thought I would witness, but it was awesome to see.
Oh, yeah. That must have been a great experience.
Yeah, definitely. So, Joe,
What's my question?
your question is, got a story to share about helping a stranger or someone you knew in great need?
Oh, yeah. I have many of those stories, but I'll give you the most recent one. I was going to the store one morning from work. I decided, okay, I'm going to walk out the road and get something for breakfast. And I saw a guy sitting there and he was like, can you get me something to drink? And I basically just brushed him off and walked on. But in my mind, I knew I was going to get it for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't tell him anything because I was in a hurry to get out the road and get back to work. So I went, I got whatever I thought he may need to drink. I got him like orange juice. And on top of that, I bought him a sandwich. You know, something really nice that I know he probably haven't had in a while because he was basically almost destitute, you know, sleeping in a cardboard box. So I got it, and on my way back, he asked me again before I got to him. And by the time I got to him, I just gave him a plastic bag with the sandwich and his orange juice. And he said thank you. And I walked away and I just glimpsed back and I saw for that moment, he was happy. For that brief moment of the morning because he like basically laid out a breakfast table, you know, he
Yeah.
opened his juice, he had a sip and he laid it down, you know, and then he got his sandwich. And for that one moment, I know he was happy. All his problems were put behind him at that moment.
As he was enjoying the sandwich.
Yes, as he began to eat his sandwich, he was happy. You know, so sometimes it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that was my experience of helping out an absolute stranger.
Yep. And we spoke about love languages in season 1, and I know acts of service is something that is important to you and your family.
Ah, yes, it is. It's most definitely because everyone needs a helping hand at some point in time.
Yeah. So we, on this podcast, are all about spreading love in every form, self-love, love in a couple, love among family members. So we know that this pandemic has stressed people out to the point of them losing their jobs, lots of things. So if you can, for a moment, bring joy to someone in some small way, we encourage you to do that. So now that we've gotten our stories out of the way, let's dive into these 36 questions. So these questions come in 3 sets, and we are going to begin with set 1. The first one is, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Oh, the choice of anyone in the world. Who would I want as a dinner guest?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a hard one. But I would think for being most recent, I would like to have Barack Obama.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to know how his persona kind of matches mine. He's so calm and I don't know, the man just sweats excellence.
He sweats excellence.
Yes, it's just like, wow. You know, he adapts to every situation, you know. Children love him. He meets a basketball player. He plays actual basketball with them.
Right.
Think about it. At that point in time, you were basically the most powerful man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, in the Western world, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, the world trades in US dollars. So basically, he was the most powerful man in the world.
Okay.
So yeah, I would like to. His swag was off the charts.
Yeah, I agree with you. I remember when he was running and how he captured all the hearts of people worldwide. I just think we should make it a double date because I would want Michelle Obama to be my guest.
Okay. But no.
Why? What
No.
happened?
We not having dinner together though.
Why?
No, I want to myself. I want us to talk like men talking. No. Not,
Well, we can have dinner and then you can go off and have your one-on-one with Bo and I can have mine with Mo.
okay, we are. So, okay, what we having? Pizza?
No, hell no. The Obamas' tastes are more refined than pizza. So I don't know. We have to do something fancy that day.
Okay.
But I'm sure we'll get their input. But yes, that would be lovely to have dinner with them.
Yeah, to hear how they really think as people, to get to actually know them besides being on
Our TV
in the
screens.
tabloids and these things, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yep. Okay. Let's proceed to question 2.
Everybody. Are you going to tell me? It's Michelle, right?
Yeah.
All right. Question 2. Would you like to be famous? In what way?
I don't know that I want all the lack of privacy that comes with being famous. Because if you stop to think about it, you mentioned tabloids earlier. I don't think that the Obamas have been in any tabloids per se, at least what we describe as tabloids. But if we think of stars, like really famous people, Beyonce and all the other pop stars, they are in the tabloids, meaning people speculate about their private lives, or we know the paparazzi would hunt them down. We saw what that did with Princess Diana. For me, I would like to be known for helping others. Being of service to others is a primary value for me. And if I have any measure of public life, it would be for that. I don't necessarily want the lack of privacy that comes with being famous. How about you?
Yeah, if I have to be famous, I would like it to be the person to negotiate peace between warring factions. To be like, yeah, I think I'm big.
So you thinking like UN level?
Big. I pass the UN because they have politics and all these things to worry about.
But if you're helping two warring sides negotiate, that's politics.
That's politics, yes, but it will be different. They more official, and I want it to be more. No, I do it my way. You know, it don't necessarily even have to be countries war. That would be great if it could stop countries. Then you would be responsible for basically world peace.
Mm.
But it could be two gangs, anything. It could be family members. Because not everybody get along.
So you want to be a mediator?
Yeah.
Okay.
To be the person to find solutions to really aggravating problems. Well, to each his own. They might find it aggravating for whatever reason. You know, everybody see the glass in a different way.
Okay.
So, yeah, that is what I want to be known for. Being able to bring peace to people who can't find peaceful resolves to their matter.
All right, Kofi Annan.
No. I'm not like anyone else. No. I want to be unique, not compared to anyone. Yeah.
Mediator Joe. All right.
That's right. I like the sound of that.
Okay, Mr. Mediator. All right. Question 3. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
No, I wouldn't rehearse it, but there's usually a reason why you make a telephone call.
Okay.
You will actually think, okay, I'm calling just to tell this person hello. Yeah, so you're not really going to rehearse it. I personally don't ever rehearse what I'm going to say. I let it flow. No pun intended.
If it is a telephone call to resolve something that has irked me. For instance, you would have purchased something, whether it be a product or a service from a particular company, and you're trying to get an issue with that product or service resolved. I know that I can, one, become long-winded, or two, get emotional. So I would at least have bullet points as to what it is I want to say. I may not necessarily write it out, but in my head is like, okay, these are the 3 points that you need to arrive at consensus on. And that's as much as I would do in terms of prepping for a phone call. Outside of that, no, I'd bring it. I think I'm a good enough conversationalist to, as you say, go with the flow and have a meaningful conversation.
Yeah. I think that's the difference in our personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I basically like winging everything. I go with it, whatever comes up. Because I always see it as it can never be too great for me not to be able to handle it.
Okay.
And you
all right, confident.
And you are the planning type.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I
like
am
to
the planner.
get in there and have your points and like, no. Remember on this day you sent this email?
Attention to detail. Yes. I'm sorry. I like the details because, as they say, the devil is in the detail.
That's true.
So sometimes you just need to pay attention to the little things.
Okay, moving on. What's the next question?
What would constitute a perfect day for you?
My idea of a perfect day is basically doing whatever you feel like at that moment. You wake in the morning and you decide, yeah, well, I'm going to stay in bed and sleep a little more. Mm-hmm. You get up, you have lunch. You just go with as it comes.
Mm.
That is my idea of a perfect day. You don't have any schedule. You say, okay, I have to be here at this time. I have to do this at this time. Yeah, the freedom. That is my idea of a perfect day.
Okay. While I like the spontaneity of that, I need to go to the beach at some point during that day. Because that for me is my happy place. So I need that. I need some time cooking with you because that brings me joy.
All right.
And I need some time just singing off key at the top of my lungs to music. So that could be on the way to the beach or it could be while we're cooking. But those 3 things I need.
All right. Yeah, not bad. They all fit into my spontaneous day. They could happen at any point in time in that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't have a schedule. Okay, we're going to the beach at 9. Then we start cooking at 1. No. We hungry, we cook. We bored, hey, let's go to the beach. Right. That's my idea of the perfect.
All right. When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else?
Today. I sang to myself today. I was on my way home from work and I put on my favorite artist, who is Super Cat, William Mirage, and I sang all the way home from work.
I'm trying to remember. When last did I sing to myself? I think the last time when we were dancing in the kitchen. So that was last week sometime.
Oh, okay.
Because since then I've been listening to news and podcasts. I don't think I've really delved into music. Yeah, since last week. So last week sometime.
All right, you're going to have to fix that, folks.
If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
I believe I would maintain the body because I think you could always train your mind.
And I'm just the opposite. I want the mind of a 30-year-old. I saw my maternal grandfather struggle with Alzheimer's, and in my estimation, that's worse than cancer. That's just my perspective, people. So yeah, I could be on a wheelchair, but if I have my mind, I could sing, I could have conversations. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's see. Do you have a secret hunch about how you what?
How you will die.
Okay, that question was basically a shock to me here, right? All right, here's this question. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? We do really need to answer this question.
I agree with you. I do, but I'm not going to give power to that. So
no.
Moving right along.
No.
Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common.
Music, silliness, and food.
I agree with all 3. Number 9, for what in your life do you feel most grateful? Finding you.
Yes, I'm grateful for that. But what I am most grateful for right now is the health of all my family. Okay. And you included, you might be the newest member of my family, as in, I know everybody else by blood and all that, but we have in our own family now. Yes, I am grateful that everyone in our families have no really serious medical issues that have them, ridden
or in pain or anything like that.
So that is what I am most grateful for and thankful to God that we get to wake up and see another day and enjoy the little aches and pains that we might feel. That shows that we are alive.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm most grateful for.
Amen to that. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
If I could change anything about the way I was raised, I would change. No. I guess I was raised right. But for me, changing anything by the way I was raised would have to be changing our economic situation.
Right.
So it wouldn't be about me being raised a certain way. It will more be about money.
Okay.
But I am pleased how I was raised. I think I was raised excellently. I'm proud. I'm proud of my mother and my father. Yeah.
I agree with that in that I always say that God knows why He gave me the parents that I have, because they are opposite and I like the balance that they provide me with. They were the right people for me. So I wouldn't change anything, because even those days of eating sada roti and butter taught me
of having less.
Hey, I'm saying what it is. It I can't go back and change those things, nor would I want to, because they taught me valuable lessons. So I am happy with that experience. Question 11.
Take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story as much detail as possible. Well, we're on a podcast, folks. We can't do that. We have spoken enough. We could go over it at another time. But we don't have 4 minutes now to spend.
Why? You don't want to do this?
No, that's our personal business between the both of us. You know?
Okay, Joe. Joe is trying to, he's calling the privacy card now.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's just something for everyone to do as individuals.
Okay. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? Ooh.
The ability to learn quickly or speed read and retain the information. Like have a eidetic memory. That's good?
And I don't want to say yes, but I know what you're speaking of.
Where you could not only have a photographic memory, but you have the ability to pinpoint the time when. Yeah. You remember like that guy, Sheldon? He has a eidetic memory. I think that's the word. I'm not sure. I may be.
From Big Bang?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because he remembers everything, dates and times included. So it's basically a diary in his mind.
I want the ability to have the perfect answer to any question I'm asked. that's one quality that I wish. Yeah, that would be my answer.
That one, I could wing it. I got you.
No.
I could wing it.
I want to have the Miss Universe level, they ask some ridiculous questions of Miss Universe and Miss World, and somehow you have no idea what they're speaking of, but somehow you have to come up with this perfect answer. That's the skill I want.
On a side note, I believe in doing Miss Universe and Miss World, like doing an exam. You just go to the past papers.
Really?
Yeah.
Watch the old videos.
They have a list of questions and they just kind of recycle it over the years.
All right. So we're moving on to set 2 of these questions. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? Damn.
I don't think I would want to know.
I want to know the truth about myself.
No, I think that will take away from the living experience.
Why?
Knowing the future.
No. The options are, if a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? I don't want to know about the future. I want to know about myself. So for me, what I want to know is I want to know about my heritage. Because I'm so mixed up. Yeah. Like, I wish I could know about my great-great-great-grandparents. Like, that's what I would want to know.
Where your genetics came from. Okay. Yeah, okay, I could see that. But
I don't want to.
There's anything I really want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know the future. Because that could rob you of having the experience of fully enjoying the moment. Yeah. So for me I just want to know I want to know those people, like exactly where they come from, what their life was like. That's what I want.
Yeah, because if you know the future, you'll actually go looking for it. For what they tell you. Every moment you will think, there's the moment.
Self-fulfilling prophecy too.
Yeah, you will be actually going to look for it. So yeah. Next question.
Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it?
There's one thing I have dreamed of doing for a long time, and let's just say it's working for myself, being an entrepreneur. And I guess the reason why I haven't done it is the security of a permanent job and fear. I have already admitted that to myself.
Yeah.
But because it's not just about me, I have responsibilities. So I can't just do these things, knowing that, you go work out. Like some people know how to say, they know what side the bread butter on.
Or, the supposed self-made millionaires that we know ain't self-made because they're born into millions.
I'm a self-made millionaire. I worked hard. No, you didn't. You inherited $10 million. Or you inherited $1 billion. And, everybody should know somebody. We see them on the news and these things. So, there are a lot of them.
I concur. I think I am in the midst of fighting that fear. That's what I would say. And for me, having a podcast for a long time was something that I wanted to do. And just the fact that we have started and are on this journey together, for me, is part of the proof that you can make your dreams come true.
Yeah, so you're living that dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Nice. Swan, what is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
I don't think I've gotten to that point yet.
What is the greatest accomplishment so far? Folks, I can give you hers. What I think is one of her greatest accomplishments.
Which is?
It comes so natural that she doesn't even appreciate what it is. She's ridiculously smart. Ridiculously smart. And she competes and succeeds in everything she puts her mind to. It's ridiculous. So I think that is her greatest accomplishment. Being able to do all those things, everything. I mean, she remembers everything. So imagine having an argument with her. Wow.
But I fight fair.
Yes.
I do.
But yeah, I think I probably answered the question there for you, but yes, I think that is your greatest accomplishment.
What is yours? What do you think yours is?
My greatest accomplishment is being a great son. Being a great, trying to be anyway in those cases, a good person overall.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm not where I want to be able to do what I want to do, but I do what I can with what I have. Yeah, so that's my greatest accomplishment.
Okay. What do you value most in a friendship? Ooh, I know what my answer is for Joe. I think we value the same thing. For me, is loyalty.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Kendrick Lamar in my head now. Sorry, I believe in loyalty. I don't have many friends, but the friends that I do have, yeah, I fight for the end for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. What I value most in a friendship is the honesty between friends. As in, a real friend should come tell you when you're doing nonsense.
True.
And a real friend should never agree with everything you say.
They should be able to call you out when you're doing wrong.
Hey, you ain't doing right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have, we'll go deeper this is about love and relationships.
Right.
If you are doing nonsense, as in cheating, or it don't even have to be cheating, you are treating your partner poorly, and that partner of yours treats you so well, they basically idolize you, but you don't reciprocate.
Right.
That is something a true friend should call you out on.
Well, and even if the partner isn't perfect, to me, the honest and decent thing to do as a human is to then have a conversation with a person and say, hey, these are the issues that we are having. Could we address them or should we walk away? I don't think, so you understand, I don't think that cheating on someone is the answer to in any, for any reason at all.
Yeah, but I don't want to go down the road of cheating. Let me keep that. That's usually a rabbit hole.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about just common decency.
Right.
You know, some people basically abuse people mentally, and that is usually the worst way to abuse someone mentally.
Right. Belittle them, make them feel small.
If you break down someone's mind, everything falls apart after.
Okay.
So, yeah, that is something I appreciate in a friendship. Your friend should be able to tell you, hey, you are doing nonsense.
Okay. I appreciate that. That's a true friend. What is your most treasured memory?
Wow. Most treasured memory. I don't think I have one in particular.
I know mine.
Of a treasured memory.
It was the last time my nuclear family slept together, like my family of origin slept together under the same roof. I wouldn't say where it was, but that's it.
Okay. Togetherness of the whole family.
Yep.
All right.
What is your most terrible memory? Damn.
Most terrible memory? Getting that call that my friend of childhood, talking my friend of over 40 years, got shot and died. That still affects me to this day. I appreciate it now, as in I get to terms with it that okay, he's gone and he most likely probably happier than me right now. You know. But yeah, that was the worst thing that because he wasn't sick, he wasn't it just the suddenness of it. But yeah, that's my most terrible.
Mine is of my paternal grandmother's funeral. I think that was the first time in my life I really recognized what grief was. I was young. I was probably 9 or 10. And I had to fly home from the States. My dad didn't tell me that she had passed until I was back here in Trinidad. And I couldn't watch her in her casket. And I just remember the casket going down into the hole and I just fallen.
That sucks. That is usually most people's most terrible memory. Don't mind they say their fate's worse than death, but for us, yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah. Are we keeping it real, folks?
If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, what would you change? Anything about the way you are living now? Why?
I think this is a question that could change the life that we live in now, because most you could say is that you will do things faster and get things done.
Yeah.
So don't just wait for a year. We could have 50 more years to live. Let's just do it now. Let's just get happy now and do what we need to do now, and don't wait until we know that, hey, we're going to die now. So that's it for me on that question.
I agree. And I'll be honest, I live every day like that because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So I make sure and tell all the people whom I love that I love them. And I try my best to be nice to them and show up for them. So yeah, the only thing I would do differently, Joe knows, I'd say yes.
You'd say yes, folks.
What does friendship mean to you?
I think we covered that in previous questions.
Yeah, open, honest communication and loyalty. Okay, what roles do love and affection play in your life?
I think it's a big part. It's good. It makes you feel appreciated. And everybody wants to feel appreciated. And that's the biggest role it plays in my life. It makes me know that, hey, you're not alone.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely critical. We all need affection, love and affection. Man, is a social creature. If you're a Christian and you believe in the Bible, then you know that God saw Adam and he was lonely and he made Eve. So we are meant to be around other humans and
we
experience
are social creatures.
Yeah, we experience that love and affection. So it's pretty important. A life without love and affection is a life unlived as far as I'm concerned. So question number 22. Alternate sharing positive characteristics of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. Ooh.
Let's hear it.
Alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. Yes.
I believe she has the positivity to think we can accomplish anything. That keeps you going. That is drive. I love that.
I love Joe's generous spirit. As he shared in the What's Your Story, that's just who he is. He is a very generous being.
2, I think she's just hilarious, folks. Hilarious. Oh my. It's just random. Like, sometimes you watch her like, where'd she get that from? You know? So yeah, I like that. That humor, I love it.
I love the fact that Joe respects me as his equal, as he would have said, I think in the last podcast, there's no such thing as woman's work or man's work. So this his view of equality shows up in that he's willing to cook sometimes when I'm not able to, or do other things. So I like that. He sees me as his partner.
Yes, I do. I love that. 3. Her characteristic I like as number 3 is her independence. She doesn't need to be spoon-fed. And that is just adorable. How they put it in local parlance, she gets up and get. You know, it's not about that. You know, she just gets things done. I guess it kind of tie back to the first one, being driven.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it.
I love the fact that you take your responsibility as a provider very seriously, whether it is to your family, to me, to anybody that you care about. You really are committed to that, to supporting them in the best way possible.
Yeah, that actually makes me happy. So it might be a little selfish, but all right. I'll take that. Number 4?
Yeah.
Okay, her 4th characteristic that I absolutely love. It kind of, how do I say? How could I put it? Well, she is spontaneous, folks. But she's spontaneous in the weirdest of times. I guess that's the definition of spontaneity.
Yeah.
It's like, think about it. In the middle of the night, you're like trying to sleep, you're like bedtime, and she start tickling you. And like, you're gonna sleep, you're looking tired. You see, that is like, it's annoying, but you have to laugh. It makes me laugh until like I can't catch myself. Yeah, that's great. The spontaneity.
I think you are fiercely loyal. Like, I've seen you be loyal to a fault with family members, friends. I love your loyalty. That comforts me in a good way. Because I know if you say something, you stick to your word, you know?
I try my utmost to, because I think that's all we have as people. Because there could be a million other people in the world with the same name. So basically, your name is not yours.
Oh, okay.
but your word, what comes out of your mouth, your heart, your mind, that's all you have. That's what people should judge you by, the actions to go along with speaking.
Right.
As I said, your name is not yours. That's something that's given to you. But your character comes out when you speak and follow up with those actions of your words.
Okay.
Yeah, so and the fifth thing is let's see, the drive for excellence, to accomplish everything, to get it done. Yeah, and get it done well, not just half-aing it. Yeah, getting it done, the eye for details, and to be honest with me and show me where probably I'm making a mistake. For the time that we have been together, I have seen a whole new, different light on the world. I look at it as a different angle. Before, let's just say, I grew up in a place, as the artist said, where dog eat dog. Right? Where I have seen friends turn against each other in the most heinous of ways.
Wow.
So I am always skeptical about my surroundings, people around me, But since meeting her, I see different angles. I see different angles in politics, in life in general. So, yeah, because growing up and seeing what I've seen, it scars you.
Yeah.
So you don't really give other aspects of life a chance.
Okay.
You always think that they're coming to get you. So, yeah, that characteristic, I like that. How she puts the positivity and the spin to the world. Let me see the world in a different light.
And I like your patience, because I know I could try people's patience sometimes. I like Joe's patience, and he has this calm patience too, not just waiting and you're seeing him exasperated and he just itching to do something or say something. He just always calm. I really value that about him.
All right. I got it from my mama.
All right. So moving on. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most people's?
Well, my childhood was happy, but I was more close to my mom than my dad.
Okay.
My dad was old school, serious.
Yeah.
Just, I'm here to provide. Not here for the social aspect.
Yeah.
It only came when I got older, and didn't really get to really enjoy it because he passed away after, when you get used to it, so we didn't have enough time to build on that part of our relationship. But yeah, I'm pleased that we were close enough.
Okay. I don't think that my childhood was happier than most people's, but mine was happy. And the reason why I say it was happy is because I was blessed to know all four of my grandparents, and those grandparents played a pivotal role in my formative years. I have lots of memories with them. And even when, you weren't on the best of terms with your parents, you always had somebody you could confide in and hear a different perspective from.
Yeah.
So I think it was happy. I consider myself blessed in that regard.
Yeah.
Right. Question 24 and the end of set 2. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
Oh, my relationship is awesome. My mother's cool. Yeah.
She is.
My mother is really cool, and she's probably the most honest person you'll ever meet. You know, she's just great. She's just great. She will steer you the right way and she will give you her opinion. You don't need it any more real than she can give it to you.
My relationship with my mother is better now. I would say that we've had a better relationship as I have matured into an adult. Growing up, it wasn't the most ideal. Like I mentioned before in season 1, I was a daddy's girl growing up. And when you're a daddy's girl, you and mom generally would have
A little pulling and tugging.
Yeah. But honestly, as I matured into an adult and I left home and started living on my own, I saw how our relationship evolved into the point where we can have adult, honest, open conversation with each other now. That's not to say I can't call her by her first name. I would never lose my mind because she will hit me.
She will put you over the knee.
But at the same time, I enjoy our relationship at this point in time. All right, so we are moving on to set 3. Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling.
Okay, we are both doing this podcast and having fun.
Yes. We are both happily in love with each other.
Right? We are both waiting the day that we can go to the beach and sit and have bacon shark.
We are both very caring children. Like, we really support our moms.
We are both going to be rich, where we can live financially free and bring everyone along with us. You know, everyone. You know, once we make it, everybody makes it. Everybody in a circle. Yeah.
All right, Joe.
Yeah. Speak it into being.
Yes, I hear you. Let me see. We both recognize that this is forever love. Ain't no backseas. We in this till the wheels fall off, as the people say.
You want to ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Next question. Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share.
I don't have anything.
Neither me, because
I think I have everybody who I could share something with.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. I would say my boundaries. Like things that are non-negotiable for me. Yeah, things that that are really, really important to me. You definitely know that. You would know, the things that irk me as well.
Yeah, I think for me, you need to share if you have any crazy ex-boyfriends, girlfriends, anybody of that sort. Yeah, that is what I need to know. I am thinking about self-preservation. So I need to know.
But you say now, like if, we had crazy past. We didn't.
No, you never know. You might just have that one person you slip to the back of your mind because it was traumatic and it was like, okay, this person didn't exist. But yeah, that's all I would like to know. If I'm in any harm from past relationships. I'm allergic to
Buzzard?
blow smokes.
All right. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time. Saying things that you might not say to someone you've just met.
No, we are not going to answer that question because that is for me to know.
And you not to find out.
Tell Flo.
In person.
Yes.
Off the mic.
Which I have already told her many times. So, yeah, you'll get your significant other and tell them what you think.
Okay.
All right.
Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. So, I've had embarrassing moments.
My embarrassing moment is being out and I was wearing a belt and my pants dropped.
And people say, underwear.
I didn't have any holes in my drawers. So, yeah. So that's about it.
Well, I've had embarrassing moments where I was walking out of school, high school that is, blabbing my mouth because, you know me, I like to talk. Didn't see the manhole without the cover and went straight into that. I just literally felt myself drop and was like, what? Looked around and realized that I was down in the drain. Thankfully, it was dry season. There was no water in the drain. I had scrapes and bruises on my shins, but I was all right outside of that. Obviously, everybody around me was laughing. But say what? High school.
I don't know, God, I laughing.
All right. When did you last cry in front of another person or by yourself? Ooh, well.
That's a few years ago.
And
yeah, at the
funeral.
Yeah. When I lost my father, when I lost my friend. I lost my friend was the last time. Yeah, where I sat on. And I don't mean just on that day, but after when you sit and you think about it.
You reflecting, yeah.
Yeah, it has happened.
Well, for me, it was earlier in this podcast. You all heard me, so.
Oh, it's recent.
Yes. Tell your partner something that you like about them already.
Well, we've done that before. Come on.
I like your smile.
I wouldn't say. Let's just say people. It's like, hate it when you go, but I love to see you leave.
Okay. Question 32. What if anything is too serious? What if anything is too serious to be joked about? I just don't like when you're talking about something serious. Like, you know, you're having like a really serious conversation and somebody choose that moment to be funny. Like, bruh, read the room.
Yeah. You know, like somebody announcing that they're ill. You know, well, they don't even have to be ill. You can, I just say the moment, how they feeling. You could watch somebody and see that, you know, everything all right.
Yeah.
You know, the jokes could come after, but at that moment, they need to be a grown-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them? I don't have anything like this. I speak my mind. Everybody knows how I feel about them. At least the people who I care about.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I don't think I have anything because I haven't told anyone something, but no, there isn't anything because the person, people, I really have to tell anything. They're not of age to know what I have to tell them yet.
Okay.
You know, they wouldn't understand. It wouldn't really make sense to them at that point in time, at this point in time. So, yeah, life have to be experienced first, then, you know.
Your house containing everything you own catches fire after saving your loved ones and pets. You have time to safely make a final dash to save one item. What would it be and why?
Passport and ID. All forms of ID, things like that, like important documents.
I was just thinking of the photo album. I even think about the passports and stuff. I was like, I know these numbers, we will get those things back. I have photos in there from like childhood, like photos of my grandparents. So that's what I want.
I personally, for me, I would save those documents because the hassle to get them back is ridiculous. And I personally, I have experienced those moments with the photos and all that.
Right.
So it's always with me. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that, at least now we know there's two things. I'll get the important documents, you get the photo.
All right.
So we have everything covered there.
Okay, of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why? I don't.
Mother.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It definitely would be my mother because there's no replacing her.
I was just thinking about this the other day, actually.
Yeah, let me know about that.
No, not that I was thinking about that, but I was just thinking about my mom in a positive way. And I was like, yo, she's the reason I'm here. Like, if she didn't carry me in her belly, like, you understand? To me, that's the one thing that ties you to this earth. So yeah, that would be, crazy. Last question. Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. This is a personal problem. I don't know if I want to talk about this on the podcast.
Nah, this is a bit too... No.
Yeah. And we ain't talking about, is my arm smelling bad? That's not what it is. Yeah, personal problem. And I would be honest and say, like, everything that I think I've had to struggle with personally, Joe would have heard me express my feelings about it and given his 2 cents on it.
Yeah. So this question is late. As best I could say, late. Because in a healthy relationship or close to a healthy relationship, these are things you should have already spoken about.
Yeah.
You don't have to speak about it on the same day, but as you all go along, getting to know one another, you shouldn't be able to not only bring the good things to your partner, but also the bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about balance.
And be vulnerable with them. Tell them the things that you struggle with.
Yeah. Once you are trusting of that person, they should know you at your worst. Or your worst moments, your worst feelings, they should know that. Yeah. So because it's something serious like, okay, if you're bipolar, I'm talking medically diagnosed as bipolar, but you're on medication for that. You should tell your partner.
Agreed.
That would explain certain behaviors that you have. And if that person is willing to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because being bipolar, if somebody just don't like your moods and like, oh God, I can't take her moods now, and just leave, that will make you worse of a situation because you never dealt with it. You will become depressed. Like, why everybody leaves me? You know?
Okay.
So yeah, things like that, serious issues, you need to tell each other.
Agreed. All right, so those were the 36 questions. We've swam many laps in those 36 questions.
Yeah.
We went in.
Yeah. So it was fun.
It was. And honestly, as you would have heard us say throughout discussing those 36 questions, Joe and I have had long, heartfelt conversations.
Yeah.
So so he knows those personal issues, the concerns, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. But yeah, if you are dating somebody, I think this, honestly, I love these questions. Or even if you are not in a relationship, but it's just something for you to stop to consider before you get into a relationship as well. Like, am I willing to share these things? Like, how vulnerable am I willing to be with someone? Or do I even have clarity myself on my responses to some of these questions? Because it causes you to do some personal reflection as well. So yeah, I encourage you to Google it, because you can find it on the internet. And as we said, season 2 is all about date night ideas. This, to me, is something that these are questions that you could ask over multiple dates. But if you heard Joe in one of our episodes in season 1, he would always say, warm up to this, don't drop it on the first date.
Yeah, warm up to it.
Warm up, ladies. Don't hit them with the deep questions right on the first date.
Yeah. You need to get to know people first.
Yeah.
And you don't need to ask all the questions at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. You know what I would love now, though?
Something to eat.
Mm-hmm. How you know you read my mind?
Hey, I have a question. In growing up and your childhood, which one of your parents was the better cook that you actually used to look forward to having that person prepare your meal?
I would have to say mommy, because she was the one who cooked more often.
Yeah, I agree. My mother used to throw down. Any particular food you like to cook?
So, growing up, my mom would get up each morning and prepare breakfast and lunch for us to take to school. Yeah, because she was not about that buy food every day or give you spending money. So my favorite thing to cook with her was akra.
All right.
Yes. I have stories that I will save that for our What's Your Story segment, but that was my favorite thing that I enjoyed cooking with her in the morning.
Oh, great. Yeah, well, my mom was the cook. Yeah, definitely. She would fresh food every day. Yeah, because that was my dad. He wanted fresh food every day. And he used to eat like a bird. Yeah, don't try to explain it. And the few things that he would cook, he always would use a lot of oil. And he loved it, but it was like, oh boy, cholesterol.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the problem. Yeah, he wasn't the greatest cook. Had few things that he could do, but yeah, that was about it. My mom was the chef of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she made sure that I can handle my own at a certain age.
Yeah.
Simply, but surely she got me into it, at 11 or so, first into secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I could cook at least one meal.
Stew chicken?
No, red and white.
Oh.
Red and white was the number one meal. That was the first thing, which is basically, folks, corned beef and rice. Yeah, that was the first meal.
The one thing that I did appreciate about my dad, he would say two things. He would encourage my brother to always learn to cook. So he'd say, so that woman don't make style on you. And he would also say...
Yeah, that was always the same.
Yeah. And he would also say, learn to love what you could cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever it is, you can... Whatever your expertise or how wide your expertise is, learn to eat that.
Learn to cook that. Because if you love to eat something and you cook it, you will know your errors, You will know where to twist, where to turn, what taste you're looking for.
No, but I think he was taking it from the other perspective, meaning even if you are not the best cook, learn to love to eat that. Whatever you cook, don't be wasting food.
All right.
Yeah. Eat that.
Eat what you cook.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you know you're not making it good, don't cook it because you have to eat it.
Well, or as you say, then hopefully over time, trial and error, you would get better. Yeah. So for me, it was stew chicken. I remember learning how to stew chicken and getting that right shade of brown. Because, you know, when it's too blonde and when it's too dark.
Yeah, I had an uncle. He actually learned to cook over the phone by my mother teaching him over the phone. Okay. Like, well, you do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, you know. Yeah, yes. That's how he learned to cook. So, yeah.
Well, we would know. We would love to hear some of the stories from our forever family. Like, what was the first dish you learned to cook? And tell us about that experience.
How did it turn out?
Yeah, we would love to know.
And have you mastered it so far?
All right. So we wrapping things up. This is our final lap in the segment we call...
What filled your love tank?
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, so what's filled my love tank this week? Well, I surprised Joe a couple of times this week. And
that's for another episode.
Yes, I'm not saying exactly what I did.
All right.
But what filled my love tank was the fact that he was willing to be game. He was up for the surprises. Because there's some people who would, when you spring things on them, they would be like, ooh, no sis, not now. But he was open to it. So I like him for being a good sport.
So folks, I literally went with the flow.
Yeah.
Yep, literally.
Yeah, we'll tell you about this in an upcoming podcast. So stay tuned.
And on that note, folks, yes, that is what also filled my love tank. The surprise of it all. Getting that phone call. Hey, I'll be there at so-and-so time. Just be ready. Yeah, that surprise was awesome. It really did. It made my week.
Right. So, folks, we thank you for listening to this episode of the Journey to Forever podcast. As usual, you can connect with us on Instagram at Journey to Forever TT. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast on whatever app you're listening to this episode on. And if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts, we would appreciate if you leave us a 5-star review. Until next time, remember that love, forever love, is a journey, not a destination. And the fuel that keeps you going is communication. Thank you for listening.
Bye, folks. Have a great one. See ya.